At this time, we understood each other from the beginning. At first, we talked nothing but rubbish.
مين أنت؟
مين أنت?
أنا.
You talk to each other in English?
Oh, she spoke a sort of kitchen English. She had all the dirty words, though. I picked up a bit of Arabic by then. The rest was just a sort of feeling.
You. London. حبيبي. Come, حبيبي.
She wanted to know all about my lovers here.
And you?
She told me about her husband. In the first 5 minutes, you found out she had never loved him. It was an arranged marriage.
Oh, my husband, America. You love him?
The way she talked about him was just coward. But you can't say that. He had left her to live his own life in the States. And she was banished into staying with her parents, like all the divorcees, back to Mama and Papa.
And after that, did you see a lot more of her?
Oh, she was always popping in and out, sometimes for the night, sometimes staying for weeks. That's the way they do things over there. Maybe a party, then everyone sleeping until 5 o'clock in the afternoon. I mean, no one ever got up before 12.
Apart from all this eating and the partying, what did the princesses actually do?
Nothing. Nothing. Nothing.
Did they ever take any exercise?
Only hopefully. Making love.
So there was a lot of that. I mean, this idea that she was the only one who broke the rules.
What else could you do? I mean, if you're so damned bored, caged up in those palaces, there's nothing else on your mind.
I'm not being critical. I'm just trying to establish what she did that was so different, so exceptional, and brought everything down on top of her. I mean, if all the other women were having affairs...
My contract is to talk to you about the princess, not the others. Those things are not for you, not for me either. I mean, if I wanted to write a bestseller, I could tell such things, but I'm not going to say a word.
Okay. So, a life of total boredom. Caged up, as you said. Servants doing everything. I mean, when a princess undresses, she drops her clothes on the floor, a servant picks them up.
And when she dresses, the servant has to lay out 11 costumes so she can choose. And the servant has to go down to the boutique and bring back all the latest Paris fashion, all on approval. And when she has a bath, the servant runs her water and talks to her to cheer her up and towels her dry. And the servant cuts your nails and combs your hair.
Did she ever have a serious discussion with you?
Her kitchen English, my Arabic.
Or did she seem serious about anything? Religion, for instance. Did she pray?
Praying is for daytime, when she slept. In our palace, praying was for the servants.
نوف صنعي لي القهوة.
Sometimes she'd lie down and listen to recordings of the Quran. Oh, but just for relaxation. It's very soothing.
Did she read?
Oh, only those film magazines. Her special hero was Abdul Halim. As soon as he came up on TV, she blew kisses at him. TV was the big thing. Not the local programs, they were rubbish. But cassettes. We were always getting films and foreign programs. We saw Sound of Music a dozen times. They knew every scene by heart. Top of the Pops used to come every week, fresh from London.
But didn't she do anything or say anything that would suggest a growing resentment against all this? Defiance? Rebellion?
Oh, she was always defiant. She loved Western pop music, but the servants hated it.
No, that's not exactly what I meant.
Her favorite song was Save Your Kisses For Me. It's sung by the Brotherhood of Man. All she could say was kisses for me. That's as far as she got. Kisses for me. She would play it, and the servants would sit there with crossed faces. And she'd play it again, and the servants would get even crosser, and again, 20 times. And she'd laugh at them. Smoking, that was strictly forbidden, but she didn't care. Her grandmother would come sniffing about, and the princess would laugh and point to me and say, it's her.
The grandmother. How often did you see the grandfather?
Oh, about once a month. All his women would go up to the palace. The daughters from his other wives, the granddaughters, the cousins, one by one in those chauffeur cars, beauty after beauty, dressed up like a peacock. As each girl enters the palace, she'd drop her veil. It was like a wedding, every girl trying to outdo the other. Then we'd all wait by the doorway of this big room. Wait for Papa.
The old prince. What was he like?
Very calm, very generous. He was so simple and quiet when he came.
He is the king's elder brother, one of those who rode out of the desert, you know, sword in hand at his father's side. But also, and this is the irony of ironies, he was one of the original Arab playboys.
They call it a majlis. That's Arabic. The head of the family, with all the women folk around. Very formal, very polite.
كيفك؟ صار لي شهر بالتمام ما سمعت.
They say that the girl carried the old man's seeds, that she had his traits. She was very much like her grandfather, also very fiery-tempered, a bit wild. She acted first and thought afterwards.
It was just little bits of gossip, but if you looked into his eyes, how satisfied and happy he was with all his family around him. His behavior and quietness was almost holy.
We came to London in November 1976. She was like a child, big-eyed. She wanted to be a hippie, wear jeans.
Was it her first visit to London?
I don't know.
But early in the year when she was sitting in a nightgown talking to you about London, did you have the impression that she'd been here before?
No, not really. The old prince was living in the Boltons, and the princess and I asked if we could stay at the Park Towers, and he said okay. At night, we used to creep out of the hotel, down the back stairs, and have fun.
Did she meet the boy here?
She had a lover. I don't know who he was. I never saw those two together. She used to wear this thing around her neck, black worry beads with a gold locket in the middle. Once she showed me a photograph of the boy in the locket. Habibi, Habibi. That's Arabic. My darling, the beads are from my darling.
And was the boy in the photograph the boy who was executed?
I told you, I don't know. I never saw those two together.
What happened when she went back?
The same old life. A different film every night, Grandma sniffing about, the princess popping in and out. Then suddenly, I felt something was wrong.
Why?
She didn't come to our home anymore.
What happened?
One day, I'd taken time off to go swimming at a friend's place. I got back about 7 and the whole palace had been evacuated. There was only my servant and the little boy. I said, "What's the matter?" And she said, "They've all flown to the seaside palace. She's drowned." Everybody was searching because they thought she was drowned. I put the baby to bed at once. I tried to phone again and again, but the line was always engaged. Then suddenly, in the middle of the night, the phone rang. "Hello? Princess Huda?" "What happened?" "Elsa, she went for a midnight swim. She got drowned, and they found her clothes on the beach. The police and everyone is out on the water."
The beach? What was she doing?
That's what I tried to find out, but the line was always engaged. A week went by, maybe more. Then at last, a phone call. "How's the baby?" It was his mother. I said, "Never mind about the baby. What's with the princess?" And she said, "Elsa, she knew exactly what she was doing and the shame she brought to our family, and they had to be killed, both of them." Can you imagine? The last thing I heard was that she was drowned. I said, "What do you mean?" And she said, "Elsa, this is our law, and this is our country's habit. And if she had thought properly about it, she wouldn't have done it. And there was no choice." And I said, "What happened? What did they do to her?" And she said, "They hurt her." And
until she died.